Hi, and welcome to Good Deeds, Real Estate with a Mission. I'm Bill Whiteacre. That's like Freaky Friday. I'm Diane Davidson.
And I'm Bill Whiteacre.
Okay, now that that's straightened out. So, today we're going to do some, a little recap or summary of some articles that we found to be very interesting in the Wall Street Journal recently. Yes?
Yeah, well, there's always good news if you look for it.
That's right.
And we are looking to curate information that's sometimes in newspapers that are important to our listeners and our viewers. And I'm reminded when we look at things like this that one of your daughters said to me, "Why do you read newspapers?" Because we still have papers delivered to the house, and we are a slowly diminishing breed. I'm not going to say dying. Well, I just did. And that is I want to expose myself to information that I wasn't looking for. And of course, the fact that by reading through the newspapers, you pick up things that are very helpful, not only to us in our industry, but also to our clients.
Right.
And so you wanted to talk or wanted us to talk about the fact that your home can shelter you from taxes.
Yeah. So in give credit where credit is due, Blakely Flaherty on our team actually found this and shared it with all of us. So we have our own clipping service.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Blakely.
Thank you, Blakely. Yes. So it's in the Personal Journal, and the title of it is "Your Home Can Shelter You from Taxes," as Bill mentioned. So a lot of people don't understand and this is your primary residence, not income property or investment property. And a lot of people don't know exactly what they can deduct, what they can't, and some of the little benefits when you sell your home as well.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't meant to be self-serving.
No, but
people should know.
Yes, because there's not everybody wants to pay their fair share,
of course,
but nobody wants to pay more.
No one wants to tip on taxes.
Yeah, nobody wants to pay more than what they should be paying.
Exactly.
And one of the great benefits that clients of ours have learned over the years, especially first-time home buyers, because they hear it, but they don't quite know it until they file and they go, "Oh my God!"
Right. Exactly.
Because your interest that you pay on your mortgage is deductible.
Correct. Even second mortgage and equity line.
And so
that?
Yes, but think about this and for most people early on in their home ownership world it's a first mortgage and they're paying interest and it's thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, if you think about somebody that's got a $3,000 payment, the majority of that, if it's a principal and interest, $3,000 a month principal and interest payment, and it's early on, they just bought a house, the majority of that is interest and not principal.
Right. It takes a long time to shift, but in the beginning, starts out as almost entirely interest and diminishes very slightly each month of the 30 years if you happen to own it that long.
Yeah. So let's just sort of think of it this way. If somebody is paying $30,000 in interest, and they're in the let's say they're paying 30% tax bracket, just play because the math is easy to do. That's a $3,000 savings that they're not going to pay in taxes as a result of it. Mm-hmm. And they've got to live somewhere and pay something.
Right.
So this is the big difference. Somebody that's paying $2,500 a month for rent. If you think about that number, it's $30,000 a year. 5 years' time, you paid $150,000. And what have you got to show for it? You have zero deduction there.
Mortgage interest, deductible, as you said.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it. Property taxes.
Deductible.
Homeowners insurance.
Not deductible.
Exactly right. Condominium fee, if you have a condominium.
Don't know. What is it?
Not deductible.
Okay.
If you have a co-op, though, since a co-op fee, and there are co-ops in New Hampshire, certainly, and definitely in Massachusetts, but including the co-op fee is if there's a loan, there's interest on the master loan, and property taxes are included. So that portion of your co-op fee would be deductible.
Okay.
So that's important.
Talk to your accountant, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. We're just playing on TV. Is that what you said? Okay.
Keep going.
So then there are credits too. Energy efficient home improvements. There are credits for that. People should look into solar, wind, and geothermal. Not easy for me to say. But let's talk about a big one that many, many people don't know about. The benefit of how do I say this? Exemption from capital gains tax when you sell your primary residence. So it changed back in 1997. I finally had to look it up because there were so many people in our world who didn't know that you couldn't just sell your home and roll over whatever the gain was to be exempt from taxes on that gain. So basically, for one person as a homeowner, primary residence owner, they are exempt from the first $250,000 in capital gains. Meaning, if your house you buy it for $500,000 and you sell it for $900,000, or let's just say for $750,000, there are no tax consequences. And to just go a little bit further, and there aren't a lot of details really, but it's the basis of your home. So it's what you paid for it plus any capital improvements you made. Repairing a broken window is not a capital improvement. Replacing your windows is, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and an accountant again can speak to all of that, but save your receipts and better to err on the side of preparedness, right? So whatever you paid plus capital improvements that you put in and what you sell for, less the cost of selling it. So whatever fees are involved, whatever transfer tax and so forth. And if that gap is $250 or less, there's no taxable occurrence. We just had a client I called the other day because they're selling their home. So for a married couple filing jointly, it's twice that. It's
$500,000, $500,000.
Exactly. And so I actually called them to say, your gain is $700,000. Make sure you have the receipts from the pool that you put in from the fencing. And they're moving and everything's going to storage. So it was a kind of a helpful call to make sure that they had all the materials they need, because they will definitely be able to exempt the gain. Anyhow, we have a copy of this article. We can scan it to you. It's really quite helpful, kind of interesting factoids and benefits other than the dream of home ownership and being able to improve property and ride the appreciation wave. There's some great, tangible, quantifiable, monetized benefits. So please reach out to us. We're happy to get you the article.
I also had a conversation with clients of ours who bought a place up here but have a place in Connecticut. This was just the other day. And they have their primary residence is here. Mm-hmm. And, when they go to sell, there's no problem. It's been their primary residence for 10 years. But they're going to establish their new primary residence on the property they continued to keep in Connecticut. All they have to do is keep that for 2 years, mm-hmm. and they can exclude another $500,000 in taxable gain.
Right.
So it is a very real benefit and one that needs to be handled strategically.
And we should say you have to be in your property for 2 years, and you can't do it more than every 2 years, except if it's related to moving for employment over a certain number of miles, and then there's a proration. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot, but we're pretty versed at it. So reach out to us, and at the very least, reach out to get the article.
Yeah, because it can save tens. You can save tens of thousands of dollars.
Yes,
hundreds of thousands when it comes to excluding gain.
Absolutely. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening and watching, and reach out if you'd like your article.